Well, a refinancing by Ivory Coast palm oil producer DekelOil is expected to positively impact profitability. A loan for €8.7 million that was used to part fund its Iron One palm oil in Ivory Coast has been replaced by a new €9.2 million 7-year facility. For more on the maths and the positives, I'm joined by the chairman, Andrew Tillery. Lots of numbers there, Andrew, but how are you managing to secure debt on far better terms?
When we first debt financed the company, we were seen as a startup. There was a lot of execution risk associated with the construction of the factory. The factory was commissioned, it was commissioned on time, and we're now perceived more as an operating company which is hitting its targets, so therefore much less risky than we were.
So is the Iron One palm oil plant performing as well as management thought it would, should do, could do?
We're outperforming. We're outperforming our budget. We're certainly outperforming our performance year on year, and we expect that to continue.
Okay, so what are the estimates like for production this year? You say, you're outperforming. Last year it was 35,770 tonnes of crude palm oil.
That's correct, it was. We're ramping up production. As I said, year on year, our production is improving. We expect that to be the case for the rest of this year.
But let's talk about the price, because crude palm oil prices, are hovering near an 8-year low, $600 per tonne, give or take. What price are you getting, and is it presenting a comfortable margin?
It's certainly presenting a comfortable margin. There are import tariffs on palm oil imports into Côte d'Ivoire, so therefore we benefit from being able to sell into the domestic market at import price parity. So the $600 is a reference price. We are achieving better than that.
Now, consolidation chatter is rife within the palm oil sector for various reasons, distressed assets, the price of the commodity as we've just discussed. Are you looking to acquire?
We always have our eyes open. Certainly we're looking for cash generative assets. Anything that becomes available or anything that we think might become available, then we will certainly keep a very close eye upon it. Our ambitions are obviously to expand.
Okay, but are there many cash generative assets in the Ivory Coast, or would you look elsewhere?
There are cash generative assets in the Ivory Coast, and there are assets which we believe are currently underperforming and could be made to perform better with better management and better systems.
Okay. Now, you were talking to me earlier on about ramping up production. Do you have enough money, first of all, to fund your acquisition ambitions, and enough money to ramp up production, particularly at the kernel crushing plant? There were projections of 60 tonnes per day from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly the refinancing frees up quite a lot of capital in terms of the reduced capital repayments that we're going to have to make this year. We make a saving of approximately €600,000 in capital repayments this year. It will be €800,000 next year. So the amount of working capital that we have available to buy in raw materials such as kernels for the PKO mill, additional fresh fruit bunches for the crude palm oil mill, is significantly greater than it has been in the past, and that will enable us to ramp up production.
Okay, so it sounds as though, cash, there's a little bit more of it. So I'm wondering, as hinted in January, whether shareholders could expect a dividend anytime soon.
It's still relatively early in the year, but the comments that we've made previously about our expectation or hope of paying dividends this year still hold.
Okay. 2015, you morphed from a development company to a producer. What are the ambitions for 2016?
We really look on 2016 as a period during which we want to consolidate our position within the market. As you know, our business model relies very much upon purchases of fruit from outgrowers, smallholders, small farmers. So building on and consolidating our relationships with those farmers is very, very important. We're looking at increased capacity utilization of the infrastructure that we have in place, which is not only the CPO mill, but as you noted, also the PKO mill.
So if I was a smallholder, how would I be describing my relationship with DekelOil?
Well, you would certainly describe DKL as somebody that supports the farmer. You may find a lot of farmers, I would imagine you would find a lot of farmers on the ground that consider DKL as an integral part of their daily life, in that they know if they deliver their fruit to DKL will pay them a fair price for that fruit and will never turn them away. And in that regard, we're probably unique.
Lovely. Andrew Tillery, Chairman of DekelOil, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
Thank you.